Hi guys and girls. Hello to everyone. As you can see, I am no longer at the apartment that I was living in. I'm sorry. There was a big reason, there's a big reason why. Yeah, whenever I said that I was happy, yeah, I'm no longer, I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm just trying to hurry up and get out of here. I am back at my grandparents'. The apartment living situation, let me just start from the very beginning. There was a lot of stuff going on between me and the girl, and we were best friends. The reason why I put were is because I'm able to handle her because we've been friends for 12 years. I've already I knew everything that she does. I knew everything that she will do. I can handle that kind of stuff. So in this case, we've had a lot of issues. First, she didn't put me on the lease whenever I've got there, and I asked her multiple times to put me on the lease. I didn't care if it fucked up my credit. All I needed was to be put on the lease, and I'll start help paying. But I'm not going to stay there without being on the lease. And I told her that I will start help paying for the bills if you put me on the lease. But the whole issue is she tried to use that against me, that I didn't pay any bills whenever I was there, which I came back with, you didn't put me on the lease, and you were already planning on kicking me out right before your wedding. Right before her wedding, she wanted me to leave, which was next year, before, I think, May or March or something. And then on Mother's Day, whenever we were with her dad, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be moving out, but it's probably gonna be this December or after December, which is still the plan. It's still the plan. But then she told me that I need to leave before December. So she switched up. And I sat there, I was like, okay. I was already planning on moving out anyways. It doesn't even matter. So, now let me backtrack here. Whenever we first got the apartment, we were fine. We were doing grown-up stuff. She wasn't. She got a job and then immediately didn't go back to the job. I got a job, but unfortunately it was a sales position. I can't do that. I'm not really a sales pitcher, and I don't like forcing people to go into a sale. So I've learned that about myself, and I do not, I'm a very big people person. I cannot. Well, then it came to time when after a month, she wanted a dog. And I was like, oh, okay. But we just got here and we don't have the money to pay for the pet rent. And she was like, oh, well, the dog's not going to be for me. It's going to be for her, whatever, her boyfriend, her baby daddy. I'm just going to say baby daddy. Her baby daddy. And I said, okay, I understand that, but we don't, it's much better to get a dog whenever you're in a home, because then you'll have enough room for the dog to live in, and you'll have enough space. Yeah, she didn't listen to that. Well, she found a dog. She said that it was for free. That dog was not for free. It was $900. Let me just tell you this. It's a German Shepherd for $900. I didn't even pay that much for my dog. And it was a yellow lab. My grandparents didn't even pay that much for our boxers either. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, excuse me, what? Well, we got the dog. The dog's fine. I'm okay with the dog. But whenever we get the dog, she didn't want to get the food. She didn't want to get the water for it. She didn't want to take care of it. She didn't want to get the necessities for the dog. So I went to my grandparents, asked them, hey, do you have extra dog food or something for this puppy? It was 5 weeks old. 5 weeks. That dog was not supposed to be, like, left out of that home at 5 weeks. And so, she said it got his shots. I don't think he did. I don't think he has his shots at all. Because most people aren't stupid enough to give it there's a certain week that they get their shots, and they don't have 5-week shots. So this person tells her that it's already got this kind of marking shots, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, what fucking vet did they go to? I'm cussing. What vet did they go to? That doesn't make sense. That's suspicious. That's not okay. So I don't think the pet got his shots. His name was Ajax. So we got the dog. She left almost every single weekend and week. She didn't want to be at the house. She didn't want to be there. She didn't want to take care of the dog. She didn't want to take care of the apartment. She never wanted to clean. She left her room a mess every single day. So it got tiring for me because I cleaned up everything. Whenever she was out of town and her baby daddy was coming down with her, I had to clean her room, clean the whole entire apartment for her, and also make sure that Ajax had food and water. Let me remind you, I am okay with helping someone, but I am not okay with taking care of something that they were supposed to be taken care of. And she didn't do any of that. So it got to a limit for me. And I told her multiple times, hey, whenever I leave, I need you to feed and water him. Which she didn't even do. I come home and the dog's not even fed or watered. Like, it's a 5-week-old puppy who wants a mother. Yeah, she didn't even treat it like a mother. She didn't. She didn't. So, moving on, little arguments happened here and there because I was getting tired of always getting blamed for something I didn't do or something I did, and I said, like, I had a specific reason for it, and she would just get on to me. So I would be the B towards her, in which I didn't care. But there was many times whenever I had to leave the house and go out and be by my lonesome because I could not deal with her. And then we got further on into the apartment, and let me remind you, March, April, May. It's May right now. We were only there for 2 months. 2 months. And for the first time in forever, her first rent came up. She couldn't pay it, and we were late. Imagine that. So I was sitting there, and I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Because anytime that she says, she sat there and, like, I know, I didn't even last long. But, like, my problem is, you wanted an apartment that you couldn't even pay for. People always save up money so that they can pay it. She didn't do that. So I was getting pissed because I was getting tired, because she wanted me to ask my grandparents for rent money, for a phone bill money, I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, for food money, for groceries money. I sat there and I said, no, I'm not asking my grandparents to help pay you. Like, we're never going to see that money. They're never going to see that money back. Let me remind you, your mother still owes me close to $2,000 for paying for her wedding. Did I ever see that money? No, I didn't. So it got worse, because now she was asking me every day to help her pay. I'm sitting here, I'm like, put me on the lease. Put me on the lease, and then I will. But until then, no. She didn't want to put me on the lease because she couldn't pay for the extra person. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, then you should have never asked me, and I could have just stayed living with the other friend. It got difficult. And I know some of y'all might disagree with me, because if I was living there, I should have been helped paying. Which is true. But the problem is, I asked her beforehand to put me on the lease. I wanted to be put on the lease for a specific reason, so that way I can gain credit. That was a very big part for me. Well, she didn't want to. And let's not forget to mention her ex-husband, her husband, because technically they're still married. The papers still have not been signed. He's on the lease. And her baby daddy doesn't even know. Her baby daddy doesn't know a lot of shit, because I had to keep it in for her. And then eventually I just got done. I got done with it. So I told the baby daddy's brother. Yeah. Because I was getting tired of it. Because it's not the fact that she's a liar. She's a big liar. And the friend group that I'm in, I do have a friend group. Unfortunately, they've seen hell and back between me and her. And it's not like I'm trying to force her out of that friend group. I'm not trying to make them hate her or anything. It's just, I was tired of always having to do stuff for her. Like, I gain money through dashing. I gain it so that way I can pay for my gas. I can do whatever I want to. But anytime that I got that money, she immediately asked me, hey, can you pay for this? Can you pay for that? Can you pay for this? Can you pay for that? I didn't want to do all that. I can't. Like, most of that money goes to my gas. It takes up a lot of my gas. She doesn't have a vehicle anymore because she had to give it back to her dad because she couldn't pay for a vehicle note and a apartment. So, like, why? Why did you even think about getting an apartment if you didn't have enough money for it? She has no job. So, I don't even know where half of this money is unless she's getting it from her husband or her grandpa or someone. I don't know who she's getting it from, and I don't care. I really don't. But, you know, the month goes through and things go, okay, I'm doing my own thing. I don't care. I'm doing my own thing. I'm going out. I'm driving my own vehicle. I'm doing my own thing. I'm still looking for jobs. I'm doing all this. I'm doing all that because I have a plan. I have a plan to go get my own apartment. Well, May comes around And honestly, I felt bad for missing her on her birthday. But then I remembered she wanted to move on my birthday. She didn't care for my birthday. And it was my 21st. She didn't care for mine. So then I didn't feel bad. Because then I remembered that she wanted to move out on my birthday. And she couldn't get that. So then she moved immediately after my birthday. So I'm glad. I'm glad that I didn't even try on her birthday. Well, May goes by. We're doing okay, I guess. She's never there. She doesn't ever want to be there. She's telling me this, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, because your boyfriend left? And she's like, I just really want to see my boyfriend. And I'm just sitting here. I'm like, you picked an army dude. I don't know how to help you there. You picked this apartment. I'm sorry that it doesn't feel like home. I told you not to pick this apartment. That's on you. I'm going to be straight up honest. And then after that, I had to drive my own vehicle 4 hours up to this one place and then all the way back down. Yeah, she said that she was staying there for a week. Nope. I think it was Tuesday? No. Wait. Monday comes around. Okay. She calls me and I'm like, yes. And I'm already dashing. I'm in a good mood because I'm so ready for this weekend. Like, because I'm home alone. I'm home alone and I don't have to deal with anything except for the dog. The dog I had to deal with. But I didn't care after that because at first the dog pissed me off because I wanted her to bring Ajax up there because Isaac, her baby daddy told her to bring him up there. Well, she didn't. So that was on her. And I was already kind of a little bit upset because of the fact that he was already getting left behind for a week straight. And I was fine with it, but it pissed me off because he's still a puppy and he was hard to deal with. And he's a big whiner because the girl wasn't there. Well, I finally got him under control and he was doing good. He was doing happy. I was fine with it. And she calls me on Monday and she tells me, hey, I'm not going to be back for a few months. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, what? Why? She was like, I just don't feel home and I'm stuck in a hole and my mental and sanity is like really bad and the apartment's not making it even better and it feels like I have no support down there. I'm sitting here, I'm like, you have your boyfriend's parents and you have your friend group down here. What do you mean? And she sat there, she was like, well, I really just need to be away. I'm sitting here, we're like, no, you just want to be up there with your boyfriend. Thinking, and they broke up again. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you just want to be up there with him. Do you really think that you should be up there with him with how things are going right now? And she was like, look, I'm only telling you this because I'm not going to be there for a few months. And in my mind, I was already like telling myself, I need to leave. Because if she wasn't going to be down there for 4 months, then she's not going to pay the rent bill or the light bill. I'm not going to sit in a apartment and get evicted real quick. She forgot to pay every other one. So me sitting there and having to wait for an eviction notice, yeah, I'm sorry. No. So I was fine. I was fine with her leaving. I said, you do you. You do you. Okay? You do you. Well, then, here's the twist. She sits there and tells me, hey, and tomorrow, this weekend, I'm going to come down and I'm going to pick up Ajax. And I'm going to bring him back up there for months. No. Exactly what I told her. No. No, you're not. And she was like, yes, I am. And I said, no, you're not. And she was like, you didn't want him down here anyways. I said, I don't care. I would have been fine for a week, but for months at a time, no. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to that dog up there. He's a puppy. I don't know what's going to happen to him. And she sat there, she kept on yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I don't care, Charisma. No, I'm done. I'm done with this shit. Sorry, cussing. I said, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm taking the dog. I'm taking the dog, and I'll take it somewhere else. But you're not bringing him all the way up there and possibly get killed. Like, I can't. I can't trust you with this dog. You don't even take care of it. I can't. Like, I can't trust her because she can't even take care of her own baby. Like, I can't. It's a big trust thing, and I can't. I just don't want to see the puppy die. And after that, I left and I took the dog. Unfortunately, I do not have the dog. I decided to take y'all already know his name. Isaac's thing. And it's not even because of him. It's just because my grandparents weren't going to allow a lot of arguing. And I currently don't have a place to go. So I asked Isaac's brother if he could take in the dog and make sure that he doesn't leave. He doesn't leave until Isaac picks him up and gets out of the barracks, because I don't trust the girl. I don't trust her. And he said, I will. And I said, thank you. And I know that you'll take care of him. That is why I'm bringing it to you. And he said, yes, I know. I understand. And he already knows everything that's happened. And he understands completely why I did it. And here recently, I'm at the point where I don't want to be here, because the minute that the first night that I stayed here, that feeling that I got from before came back immediately. And I've just been sitting here uncomfortable and not knowing how to process it. So I'm at the point to just say that I am going to live at my friend's, when really I'm going to be living in my truck. Because I can't anymore. I just don't feel comfortable being here. And it's gotten to that point. But that's what happened with the new apartment. I am looking for other apartments. I don't even care if I don't have any credit. I'm looking for other apartments. I'm going to find me a job. I don't care if I don't like this job. I'm going to find that job so that way I can get that job, get money real quickly, so that way I can go get me an apartment up in Galveston, where it wasn't my first plan, but Galveston has the best offers, and I would rather be up in Galveston anyways. I love the beach, and I love being by my friends. That's the main reason. Probably not going to stay there long term, but I am going to stay there for the time being. But this weekend is coming up fast. Thursday's coming up fast. I don't know how to feel about Thursday because I want to go, I do want to go to my favorite bar with all my friends. But with everything that has happened, I'm still depending on it. But I also need a distraction from what's been going on. And that's the only distraction that I have. And that's the only distraction that I know that works. And unfortunately, the man that I am talking to, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see him anymore because of my grandparents. Maybe 21, but they won't allow me to stay at a man's house, which I stayed there before. But, you know, things happen. That's why I'm trying to find a job real quickly and get my own apartment real quickly so that way I can actually go see him more often. But yeah, that's what happened. 6 days ago, I was so happy. Yeah, that changed real quick. I forgot to mention to y'all, right after I posted that video on 6 days ago, yeah, she texted me asking me if I could take her up to Killeen. Sorry, I just said the city. To take her up to the place. But, I said no at that time because, like, it was already night. If it's already in the middle of the night, I do not want to drive. But, yeah, that's what happened. And I thought y'all should know. So right now I'm just trying to find a job, and, yeah, if anything else happens, I'm probably just gonna be living in the truck, because I would rather be there and be happy instead of being here unhappy and uncomfortable, because I don't know how to deal with it. I do, but it's not a home. It's not a home to me anymore. And my grandparents ask me so many times why I'm gonna go move with other people, and it's because this ain't home. This place makes me feel like bad. I'm not okay here. And I don't like it here. So, that's a big reason, but I haven't told them, because they don't like to listen to words. So, that's all that's been happening, and I thought I would let y'all know, because y'all deserve a big update. Oh, and I didn't put anything up. All my bags and stuff are still down there. Yeah. I'm literally, that's, when I say that I am literally not going to stay here for long, I am not going to stay here for long. I can't. Not here. But, with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. It's a little update. I just thought I would let y'all know what's happening. But, as always, I hope y'all have a great day. And whatever you do, if you had a friend in the past who wants to be your friend again, and you already know what kind of trouble she is, don't do it. Don't. It will take a toll on you. It will ruin you. And you shouldn't have to deal with that. Not the toxicity of it. Like, it's terrible. Should have learned mine. But, as always, I hope y'all enjoy today. And do you. Be happy. Be free. Be whoever you want to be. Until then, I'll see y'all later.